questions from the audience.
Myself, Rahul from Punjab, and a student of Natak and Manch. I have two questions. First one for Raj and DK, sir. Sir, as you are approaching different artists for Family Man, just going to a little past, if some other artist other than Manoj Vajpayee, sir, was playing, could you imagine them traveling the scooter and the Centro and struggling for loan?
Yeah, no, I mean, that is the script we wrote, that is the story. So we approached the actor also on that basis only. Like, we approached the people who would have done the role, done the job. See, now, ये हमेशा होता है सारे फिल्म में. Like, once you've seen a film or a show and and you love the character, you'll always feel it's impossible that anybody could have done it. And today, what Manoj Bajpayee has done is a fantastic job. If anybody else had done it, it wouldn't have been this. So this is Manoj Bajpayee's special thing. But would it have been good or bad? I think it's very hard to tell because, I mean, maybe somebody else would have done a different job, which would have been good in a different way. It's impossible to say right now. But yes, once the name Manoj Bajpayee came to our mind, it was a credit to Mukesh Chabra. We were meeting him and saying, "Kya kare?" And he said, "Why don't you try Manoj?" Immediately, for us, it was like, yeah, why not try Manoj? And we narrated the entire story of this 10-episode series to him in 20 minutes, I think. बस उतना ही बोला हम. Character बोला है कि he's an intelligence officer, but he's also a dad at home, and his wife and kids, they don't know what he's doing, and they don't respect his job, and he's like, हाँ ठीक है अभी हो गया. What do you want to drink? So it's like, it was done. It's like.
One small quick question for all of you. सर जैसे होता है ना कि आजकल मतलब हो ही रहा है कि जो मूवी या कुछ वेब सीरीज होती हिंदी है, पर जो स्क्रिप्ट्स होती है वो रोमन या इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज में होती है, तो मोस्टली एक्टर्स वगैरह को लेकर मतलब उनका कभी कंप्लेंट्स वगैरह ऐसा या आपको वो चीज़ गलत लगी है?
पहले मैं बोल देता हूँ, मेरी स्क्रिप्ट हिंदी में थी, आप लोग बोलिए.
आपका भी स्क्रिप्ट हिंदी में होता है?
आई पर्सनली फील कि यार अगर वो रोमन में है या और किसी ज़बान में है तो उसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. जो आदमी जिस तरह अच्छी तरह से पढ़ सके, जैसे पर्सनली मैं अपनी बात बताऊं, मैं जो है वो लिखता हूं उर्दू में, तो इसलिए कि मुझे इसमें एक फ़्लो मिलता है, मैं बहुत जल्दी लिख सकता हूं जो मेरे दिमाग में है. तो मुझे लगता है ये आप जिस लैंग्वेज में ज़्यादा कंफर्टेबल है वो अगर उसमें करके आप दे रहे हैं किसी को, तो आई डोंट थिंक सो एनी प्रॉब्लम्स देयर.
The one medium that we all think, every single one of us in this hall think that has crossed the boundaries of language is cinema, right? At the end of it, none of us are just watching one language cinema. We watch whatever we like. So we make in whatever way it makes sense to us or comes naturally to us.
To the esteemed directors panel, I have a tricky question here. So let's go back to Manoj Bajpayee or any of these senior actors that we have. What if you don't have a senior actor, and if you have a new actor who's playing, a character role or a main role or as a main lead, and that person belongs to theatre and that person has done a lot of work in theatre. So how much of leeway or flexibility would you give that person to caricate the role as he or she has understood it, vis-a-vis as you have kind of drafted that role? So, you may explain your vision, but, to basically do the role, the person may have a slightly different way of doing it. And if you've seen so many of these movies, like, say, for example, a Pankaj Tripathi or a Rajkumar, they've come up with a certain style of working. So, I mean, I don't know how flexible people have been with them and whether that style came out on their own or it came out because it was a director's vision. But how flexible would you be is what I just want to know.
Yeah, I mean, there were multiple questions in there, I think. One was, if it's not a known person, if it's a new person, was the question, right? I think, like, one tiny tangent there, I think a medium like the OTT offers little more flexibility to cast a new person because you're not worried about the opening. Once you put the show out there and people watch it and they like it, it can take off. I mean, I can give you many examples. When Scam 1992 came, he was not a famous actor, or when even Scam 2003, the lead is not a great actor, or Kohra, or all these shows that have come out didn't have famous actors headlining, and what it required was a competent, amazing, talented actor headlining it. I think that's important. It's a little more difficult for a film because there is an imperative that a film needs to be watched on the opening weekend and people need to go and watch it, so it becomes a little difficult to make a theatrical film like that. Now, speaking of the other aspect of it, how much do you allow the actor to have creative liberty in it is, I think, I think every director is a little different. Everybody should answer that question on our own. But when it comes to us, we actually like it. When we cast, we go through a lot of headache and a lot of back and forth and a lot of deliberation before we cast somebody for a role, and we cast somebody for a role, and we cast newcomers also, like Farzi, Shahid, and all the mains. Like the immediate, like Shahid's friend, Bhuvan Arora was a new person, or in Family Man, Manoj Bajpayee ko chhod ke Shari Bhashmi se leke, a lot of people were newcomers.
Even in our new Guns and Gulabs, the kids, they're all pretty new.
Yeah.
And Gangu, the guy who plays one of the kids there, for example, we let him interpret. So any strong actor who has a grip, that's really, we as directors look forward to actors like this who understand the character and who have a grip on it, that they can give a spin on it more than what you wrote. Right? That's where the great acting comes in. That's when we are excited that 80% of the time, maybe 70% of the time, usually it is what is written is what we try to get out of an actor. But then there's always another an actor that comes across who has so much authority and on that role that he or she can interpret it in a way, and we love them. We actually watch it change in front of us. And as it changes, we even start adding to it now. Going in his or her direction, we start adding a new scene or changing a scene to fit the new. Yeah, we rewrite on the set. That's a good part about writing your own, is that you're writing it as you watch it too. So yeah, that's the answer to the question.
मुझे लगता है कि OTT हो या फिल्म हो, अगर आपने एज ए राइटर, एज ए डायरेक्टर एक चीज़ कन्विंस किया, सोचा है, कंसीव किया है किसी एक्टर के लिए, और अगर वो किसी और तरीके से करना चाहता है, चाहे वो बिल्कुल नया ही क्यों ना हो, अगर आपको ये फील होता है कि ये बेहतर है, ये और अच्छा है, तो मुझे लगता है कोई भी राइटर डायरेक्टर जो है वो खुश ही होगा, इसलिए कि आफ्टर ऑल उनका काम ये है कि यार अच्छे से अच्छा हो. फॉर एग्जांपल एक फिल्म बन भी बहुत ज़माने पहले, शोले. अभी शोले में अमजद खान वॉज नेवर अ फर्स्ट चॉइस, एंड वो फिल्म में वो लोग काम करवाना चाह रहे थे डैनी साहब को. डैनी साहब बहुत अच्छे एक्टर है और बहुत कमाल काम करते, लेकिन जब अमजद खान साहब ने पहली टाइम वो फिल्म की और जिस तरह उन्होंने काम किया, आई एम श्योर कि वो इतना अपने आप में आज तक लोगों को याद है. और वो फिल्म के सक्सेस होने में जो 1000 वजह थी, उसके अंदर 101,000वीं वजह ये भी थी कि अमजद भाई को लोगों ने बहुत पसंद किया था. तो मुझे लगता है कि एक्टर टू एक्टर डिपेंड करता है.
I made my second film with completely new cast. उसमें कोई भी एक ऐसा व्यक्ति नहीं था जिसको लोग जानते थे. तो मैंने वो भोपाल में ही जाकर उनकी कास्टिंग की. वो वहीं मैं 1 महीना रहा और मैं रोज़ नाटक देखने, किसी को पता नहीं था कि ये कौन है. एंड देन आई डिड द कास्टिंग बिट एंड देन आई मेड अ फिल्म, द सेकेंड फिल्म. अभी जैसे इन्होंने कहा, इट्स वेरी इम्पेरेटिव दैट इट शुड फेच द नंबर टू इफ़ यू वांट टू शो योर फिल्म इन द थिएटर्स. तो अभी शायद वो अभी रिलीज़ होगी कि वो 2 साल पहले रुक गई, उसके बाद किसी तीसरी फिल्म में चले गए आप. लेकिन अभी आप वो फिल्म देखेंगे तो शायद मेरा जवाब उसी फिल्म में है कि जब एक्टर आप ऐसे लोगों को लेते हैं जिनका सुर बहुत पक्का होता है. मतलब आप जैसे कहा ना कि गाना आपने कंपोज कर लिया है, R.D. बर्मन को गाना कंपोज करने बहुत अच्छा आता है, और जब किशोर कुमार गाना गाने आएगा तो उसका सुर बहुत पक्का होगा ना, तो जब वो गाएगा तो वो इम्प्रोवाइज़ करेगा. वो आपका गाना आपकी तरह गाएगा, लेकिन वो अपने तरह से गाएगा. तो ऐसा नहीं कि गाना अलग हो जाता है, गाना उसी पैमाने पे होता है, लेकिन वो शायद निखर जाता है. और हर डायरेक्टर कुछ ऐसे होते हैं जो एक लाइन भी बदलना नहीं चाहते हैं, वो अपनी तरह से काम करते हैं. लेकिन आमतौर पे जो डायरेक्टर उसको लगता है कि ये जो इम्प्रोवाइजेशन हुआ है और एक्टर जिस तरह से कैरेक्टर को अप्रोच कर रहा है वो थोड़ा ज़्यादा क्या बोलते हैं व्यापक है, उसकी रीच ज़्यादा अच्छी लग रही है और देखने में सुंदर लग रहा है. तो मुझे नहीं लगता कि कोई भी इतना बेवकूफ़ इंसान होगा कि वो बोलेगा कि यार ये नहीं करो यार, जबकि पता है कि आपको खुद को हंसी आ रही है अपनी लाइन पे, अगर वो बोल रहा है तो आप कभी उसको अलाउ ऐसे नहीं करोगे, ऐसा कभी होगा नहीं. मुझे लगता है कि आप इसका सबसे बहुत बेहतरीन एग्जांपल है सत्या. मुझे लगता है हमारे जनरेशन में वो एक नई फिल्म थी जो आई थी जब, तो उसमें आप किसी को नहीं पहचानते थे. मुझे लगता है सिर्फ गोविंद भाई का काम लोगों ने बैंडिट क्वीन में देखा था, मुझे लगता है, और मकरंद देशपांडे ने, सौरभ शुक्ला, अधिकतर उसमें कास्ट जो थी वो मुझे लगता है बैंडिट क्वीन की ज़्यादा मेजर कास्ट थी. लेकिन वो फिल्म पूरी एक फ्रेश ब्रीज की तरह आई थी. मनोज बाजपेयी, इवन शिफाली छाया, मतलब जितने लोग थे, जितने छोटे छोटे रोल में जितने लोग, सब लोग याद इसलिए रह गए क्योंकि वो फिल्म के सुर के साथ एक साथ गा रहे थे, मतलब सिम्फनी में जैसे गाते हैं लोग.
Hello everyone, thank you for this opportunity. So as we just discussed right now that content is the king, okay, but I just want to ask that how can we define what is good content, okay? And then a question is that what is the creative process of writing, and how do you define like this, the way you wrote this is pretty good, and then it will fetch fetch a good box office. So about that, and one thing that when you were making a film, what is the role of creating hype and marketing to make the film a big success?
Okay, the first part of the question is how do you define good content? I mean, that's almost like a very philosophical question at this point. I think whatever you think is good content, correct? Whatever you think is good content, you will write true to yourself. I think that's the key to it. Don't ever write कि last film जो hit हुआ उसमें ऐसा कुछ था, so that is good content, let me write that. I think you'll be walking into a trap. You should just write what you think is good content. And ultimately, I don't think you'll know when you're writing it or when you're creating it कि this is a sure shot hit. I mean, you'll go with a hunch and you'll hope that what you are thinking is good content is actually good content for everybody else also, and the movie will work. But I don't think there's a formula like that per se. Yeah.
Anis bhai, you have
Hype
to
and
speak
marketing
about
is
it.
very
Come on.
important, and Anis bhai will tell you all about it now.
या डिपेंड करता है कि किस तरह की फिल्म है. अभी जैसे जब हम लोगों ने फिल्म बनाई थी भूल भुलैया, तो उस टाइम पे लोग जो है वो इतना स्केर्ड थे थिएटर में जाने के लिए कि थिएटर में जा ही नहीं रहे थे. तो हम लोग आपस में बहुत परेशान थे कि यार ये थिएटर में लोग जा ही नहीं रहे, तो इसको फिल्म को कैसा किया जाए. तो एक ये प्लान था कि जो पहला टीज़र बनाएंगे वो इतना अच्छा होना चाहिए, लोगों को बहुत अच्छा लगे. और जब वो टीज़र हमारा आया और जब बहुत अच्छा पॉजिटिव फीडबैक आया, तो उसके बाद जो है हमने फिर ट्रेलर बनाया. तो मुझे लगा कि हम लोगों ने उस ज़माने में, उस टाइम में जब कोविड का ज़माना चल रहा था और कोविड ख़त्म ही हुआ था और लोग जो है थिएटर में जाने से बहुत अपना जा नहीं रहे थे, उस टाइम थोड़ा हमें प्लान करना पड़ा और हम लोगों ने थोड़ा एक्स्ट्रा पीआर पे काम किया कि बहुत जगह गए हम लोग और काफ़ी कुछ किया. तो बिकॉज वी एक्चुअली हम लोग सारे स्केर्ड थे कि यार क्या होगा. बट अच्छी बात ये हुई कि वो एक इस तरह की फिल्म हुई कि जो लोग हैं, लोगों ने बहुत देखी और एक तरह से एक नई उम्मीद बनी कि नहीं भाई ऐसा नहीं है कि अब लोगों ने जो है सिर्फ घरों में फिल्म देखनी शुरू कर दी है और थिएटर में आएंगे ही नहीं.
I'm going to translate my question at the end of the question. నేను మిమ్మల్ని మీట్ అవుతాను చాలా ఎగ్జైట్ ఫీల్ అయ్యాను. పొద్దున గంటన్నర సేపు మా ఫ్రెండ్స్తో డిస్కషన్, ఏం క్వశ్చన్ అడగచ్చు అన్నీ ఓకే, ఫ్యామిలీ మ్యాన్ అందరూ అడుగుతారు, ఇంకా ఇట్లా చాలా చాలా ఉన్నాయన్నమాట. ఇంకోటి ఏంటంటే తెలుగులో అడిగితే అర్థమవుతుందా లేదా రాజ్ అండ్ డీకే కానీ మా ఫ్రెండ్ సారీ
అర్థమవుతుంది, చెప్పండి చెప్పండి.
అదే మా ఫ్రెండ్స్ చెప్పారు చిత్తూరే పర్లేదు తెలుగు అర్థమవుతుంది అని చెప్పి. ఓకే చాలా క్వశ్చన్స్ డిస్కస్ చేసిన తర్వాత అనుకున్నది ఏంటంటే సినిమా బండి ఉంది కదా మూవీ, అందులో మీరు ఇన్వాల్వ్ అయి ఉన్నారు కదా, ఆ స్క్రిప్ట్లో మీకు మిమ్మల్ని ఏది అట్రాక్ట్ చేసింది అంటే చాలా చదివి ఉంటారు, మీ దగ్గరికి చాలా వస్తాయి, ఇందాక మీరు అన్నట్టు డిఫరెంట్ ట్రై చేస్తూ ఉంటారు మీరు కూడా ఇట్లా చేయాలని, అంతేగాని వేరే వాళ్ళ స్క్రిప్ట్ విని ఓకే దీని మీద మనం ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేద్దాం, దీన్ని మనం ఎలాగైనా చేద్దాం అని అనిపించింది ఎందుకు?
The question he's asking is, we made a small film called Cinema Bandi like 2 years ago. It's on Netflix. It was made for like 40 lakhs, like the smallest thing we've ever done. It's from a new filmmaker. The reason I want to talk about this, a very good question, is because we are all in a film festival, a lot of budding filmmakers, and this guy, for example, we were in IFFI in Goa, and these two guys, director and writer friends, they came up and said, we have a concept, and people keep pitching to us, and usually we always look for not just their excitement, their confidence, but also what is it about and how are they presenting it to us. Because when we came here, nobody knew us, and we had to figure out how to make somebody interested in the stories we were telling, right? So for Go Goa Gone, we made a trailer out of random images. For 99, we created a comic book. For Shore in the City, we went and shot a short film. Only then could they understand why, could they see what we're trying to do. Otherwise, it was just one story, one page paper, and like 100 people like us. So these guys had made a beautiful photo album. Like it was written with pictures and all that stuff. So I could see there was a specific intent and a certain idea how to make it. So I was interested, but we said, why don't you go and make a short film? He had a camera, 5D, and I said, why don't you make a short, and then I'll see how it is. If you are really saying what you are saying, then what is stopping you from making this small 10-minute short film? Make it in the same subject. I even told them this much to make, what to make out of it. So these guys, nobody comes back after that, usually. They usually disappear. They came back after a few months and actually showed us a short film. And all cast by the village people there and shot with them. It was so grounded. The dialect was so nice, fresh for Telugu industry. I said, let's do it. I said, we gave a word saying if I like the short, I'll put our money in. So we actually put our own money in it. Usually you don't make films like that anymore. Nobody puts their own money. This was your first film, you do that. After that, it's always a studio investing in it, right? So this time nobody's going to invest in this film. Nobody knows what it is. And he wanted a star. I said, no star. Let's go with what you made. Let's make a very, very independent film. So we just put our own money and he went and shot and I went there, sat and kind of... So the idea was that I do understand when somebody comes with their vision. We are usually self-sustainable environment in D2R films that we write, direct everything, we do it ourselves. We usually haven't really taken material from outside. But I felt like we need to support independent filmmaking because we were that and we never had a producer that when we started off, we wish we had someone. We wanted to be that for independent filmmakers who had a very strong idea as to what they wanted to make.
And not just an idea, not just a script. I think what attracted to us about these 2-3 people was that they had a script, they had the ability to make a film, they made a short film, they came and they went and they cast for the short film on their own in a very small village on the border of Andhra and Karnataka. And the big requirement we gave them was, let's make the feature film, but make it with the same cast. Don't go to the industry, don't take any other famous actor from the industry, because this is what is the heart of the film, this is what is making it very real. So just like shooting a short film, extend that, and we ended up making a feature film. Knowing that there is no way this money is going to come back, we said we'll make it. If it's good, it'll go to film festivals. There's no way we're going to make the money, but we lucked out that the film turned out well and we could put it on Netflix.
Thank you. Thank you for that question. So on that note, there couldn't have been a better note to say thank you to all of them. A round of applause for all of them.